to the smart manufacturing section. We're really glad to have you today. I think we all know there's probably no company here that's not going through some sort of a digital transformation process, and part of that is to make sure that you take a smart manufacturing approach. And some of the things you're going to hear from our four speakers here today, and if we're talking a little bit fast, it's because certainly it's a presentation-filled session. But we want to talk about things of how some of the companies that the speakers are either represent or were involved in the cases. How did they progress in the digital manufacturing journey, and what did they do as far as adopting the latest technologies and navigating not only the technical challenges but also the cultural challenges. And I think the bottom line is that if you don't have a smart manufacturing or a digital transformation plan or journey already underway, it's certainly going to put you at a severe competitive disadvantage. And so let's see here. Now it's going. So I think these are some of the daily challenges that all companies across all industries have. Certainly your processes are only getting more complex, especially with all the different technology that needs to be applied. You got challenges from government regulations. You have horrific supply chain challenges in many cases with inflationary issues, and how do you do better to manage costs, and how can you be agile and responsive in this day when it's very, very difficult to certainly know what kind of supply, raw material or supply chain issues you're going to have, what you're going to be able to manufacture, how you're going to be able to meet customer demand. So really the only way to do that is really to embrace these digital technologies and be able to implement them throughout the organization. And what are some of these digital technologies? I mean, this can range from projects from digital twins, augmented reality, virtual reality, predictive prescriptive analytics, artificial intelligence and machine learning, and doing things to be able to simulate processes before they're actually deployed. But the thing is this: to do smart manufacturing, it's a very, very scalable process. You don't have to adopt all the technology, the latest technologies at once. You may take a low-hanging fruit strategy where you actually go after the processes that require, let's say, the most attention, because maybe you have the biggest issues with unscheduled downtime, for example. But some of the things that are really critical here, some of the benefits of smart manufacturing technologies, along with the technology benefits, are the fact it helps you actually attract a new workforce. That's something people who are, let's say, can leverage some of the tools that they're using in their day-to-day life as part of their job. It really has helped with the whole collaboration, which we've all certainly experienced with the pandemic and people working from multiple locations, and how do you help them collaborate better from multiple places. And one of the things that's also critical is with people having an endless amount of data and maybe not enough meaningful information, is to convert all that data and reduce some of that complexity to be able to do a better job and have it increase real-time visibility and really create we like to call this a single version of the truth with all this data. But the thing is that with the workforce issue, certainly starting in March 2020, when factories started locking down, and even as recently as what was going on in China with the last shutdowns, companies really cannot be dependent on having employees that have to be based in the plant to be able to continue their production if they want to maintain their sustainability and they develop a certain level of operational resilience. So smart manufacturing technologies really now makes the worker location virtually independent of what it takes to establish a lot of these processes. And at the same time, what it does is it also provides you the tools to do a better job to see what's coming, to be able to know what's going on and get better supply chain visibility, supply chain flexibility, the ability to maybe change suppliers, and if you're able to procure a different raw material or a different component, to even now be able to change the design of the product, change the 61131 code in the PLCs or packs on the factory floor to account for the new raw material. So it really is critical in days where the supply chain is so vulnerable and where it's so difficult to manufacture finished goods, to be able to have these tools to do a better job of managing the whole supply chain issues that all of us are certainly facing. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 4 case studies of companies that have applied smart manufacturing technologies and how they have some of the positive results they've had as a result of doing that. But we also want to certainly talk about, hurdles and kind of take a Monday morning quarterback approach to the fact of how would they have done it differently. And hopefully all of you will walk away with some great tips. And the first speaker I'm going to introduce is Phil D'Antonio from Nissan, and he's going to come up here and present a Nissan case. So, Phil, come on up.